I said tomatoes?
Yeah. I noticed.
We have a lot of potatoes. Did I say tomatoes? Again?
I heard it.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my kitchen. If you guys notice, I have my electric pressure canner behind me because we're gonna get into another pressure canning project. So the very first one that I did was black beans, and I believe that video is already posted. And now it is time to pressure can some potatoes. One of the most important things for me to have in my pantry are really quick and easy, shelf-stable things that I can use to whip up dinner super quickly. I do love making mashed potatoes from scratch and all of that, but sometimes it takes a little bit long. Sometimes I don't want to turn on my stove to boil a big pot of water to make mashed potatoes. I'm just looking for things that are quick and easy and convenient. I do like doing freezer prep videos as well, like freezer meals. And at the end of the day, everything is pretty much just about convenience. So I have a bunch of potatoes that I need to process today. I actually picked them up from my Azure standard order for July, 2 weeks ago at this point, and I really need to process them because I got 50 pounds of organic gold potatoes. I believe they're gold, I'll double check them, but I got them for a really good price because they were a bargain bin. I think that's the term, it was in the bargain bin, in the bargain section of their website, and that's because some of them are starting to sprout, and I was like, well, that's perfect because I'm going to process them anyway, so I need to get them done today. So that's what we're gonna do. I have this massive bowl. So from what I've seen online, you guys correct me down below because again, I am a newbie pressure canner. But for potatoes, I read that I should be peeling them, slicing or dicing them up to however big I want. And I'm gonna do some larger chunks because I don't want it to kind of disintegrate when I pressure can it. So I'm gonna do some larger chunks and then I'm supposed to wash it until the water runs clear. Once the water runs clear and it removes a lot of that starch, then I can pack those potatoes into my mason jars and then add boiling water to that and salt, and then I can pressure can. So that's what we're gonna do today. I have to double check on the boiling water. I'm pretty sure it was boiling water, which is fine. I'll use my electric kettle and I can pour some water in. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. So let me bring you guys down. Let's peel some potatoes and let's get some shelf-stable potatoes in our pantry. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna do all of these potatoes, but I definitely will do, look at this, it's starting to sprout. I definitely will do the majority of the potatoes because I do wanna have some, I guess like diced potatoes, hash browns to put into the freezer for when I do breakfast burritos. So I might save a bag or two just for that, but everything else I will pressure. I wonder if I have enough quart jars now that I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to figure out what would be the best way to do this. I think what I'm gonna do is dump them all into this big bowl here. And a lot of them are kind of small, so I'm not even sure if I'll need to chop them or if I can just throw them in their whole. But I think I'm gonna start adding them here, picking out any potatoes that are really bad and just not salvageable. And then my least favorite task is peeling potatoes. I really do hate peeling potatoes, but it must be done, so. And I did give one of these bags to my mom. So let me empty out all of these potatoes, or as many as I can fit, I guess, at one time into these bowls. I'm gonna start removing the little, I'm not sure what you call these, the eyes, but I'm gonna start removing some of them and then get to peeling them, and I will come back to you guys in a bit. All right, so I think the assembly line is potatoes here. I'm gonna peel and throw all the peels in here, and then I will just throw the peeled potato into the sink, and then I will gather them at the end back in this bowl, wash them, and then we'll start with cutting them up and rinsing them out. I think I have 5 bags in here. Yes, and I have 4 bags back there because I don't know if I even have that many quart jars. I think I have maybe 20 of them, 15, 20. So I'm just gonna do this for now, and then the potatoes that I have in the back, I really do need hash brown potatoes because I need to prep some breakfast foods, and my family really likes breakfast burritos. So I think the ones that are back there, I will turn those into frozen hash browns or diced potatoes, and then I won't have to peel the potatoes because we don't mind the skin on them. But I think for canning, the safest way is to remove the peels. That's the only reason why I'm doing it. If not, trust me, I would not do it because I hate peeling potatoes. But for the ones that I'm gonna chop up and dice, I can leave the skin on and just cut around some of the bad spots, and that'll be a much faster process. So let me go through these. Let's start peeling and then we can get this project on the road. Maybe I don't like peeling because I need to get a better peeler. Maybe that's why. One down, 700 more to go. Now, is this a very long, tedious process? Yes, it is. And could I just buy French fries or buy hash brown potatoes or whatever the case is? Yes, I can. I really need to get a new peeler. But yeah, I can. The thing is that it is a lot more cost effective this way. That's one, that's the biggest one, is that it's just more cost effective buying the potatoes like this. What did I get? 50 pounds for, what was it? $40, I think it was, for organic potatoes. I think that's a pretty good deal. That's a lot of freaking potatoes. So number one is cost effective. Number two, I really just enjoy having home cooked things for my family. We're really trying to cut out like the whole Uber Eats, DoorDash situation. They're hard to peel because they're so tiny. So yeah, we're also trying to cut out the DoorDash, Uber Eats, all of that stuff because it's just super expensive, especially when it's a family of, 4. It's pretty expensive. So let me try to get the bigger potatoes. So yeah, it is a labor of love, and I'm all right doing this. Today is a really good day. We had an appointment early this morning, but now my son is with my mom, so he's hanging out with grandma, having a good old time, and I have the day in the kitchen, which is one of my favorite days. So I might as well take advantage of the time that I have and, knock a project or two out, knock a video or two out. A lot of you know I've said it before that if you see me in the same outfit for more than one video or more than one consecutive video, it is most likely because I filmed them in the same day. So some of these potatoes have a little bit of like browning going on, a little bad spots, but honestly not that bad. So let me put on some YouTube. The one nice thing about having an open concept layout is that I can watch TV while I'm cooking or washing dishes or doing whatever. So I'm gonna turn on my YouTube. I think I'm gonna catch up on, is it the Sasser House, if I'm not mistaken, or Sasser Farms? I just found them. I had no idea that their channel existed. It's Emily and Chris, I think it is, but they're so cute. Such a cute couple. So I'm gonna catch up on some of their videos, peel these potatoes, and then I will come back to you guys in a little bit. All right, guys, I am back. I had to recruit the help of my daughter to help me peel because we have a lot of potatoes. So I have them soaking in water. I'm going to go through them, cut them to the size that I want, and then start rinsing them a few times until the water runs clear. But before I do that, I figured I would get the cans going in the electric canner to warm them up. So I have a brand new case of quart jars. These are from Azure Standard. The quality of these jars are amazing. They're super sturdy. By far the best that I have tried so far. I really, really like them. So I will be purchasing some more jars coming up and just keeping them in stock. And you have the option to buy them with the lid or without. I chose with. I really, really like these superb lids and rings. It's a nice little added bonus that they're gold. They're very pretty and aesthetic, but they are really, really good lids. All of the beans that I made the last time, all of them sealed. I really like this brand. So I'm gonna go ahead and wash these really quickly, get them into the electric pressure canner to warm up while I work on the potatoes. So let's do that first. All right, guys, so I'm gonna start by adding the water into the bottom of this canner. There is a little line that will indicate how far up you need to fill it. I think it normally takes like 2 of these. Yeah, 2 of like my blender full. So let me get a little bit more. And this is just hot tap water that I'm adding in. Now what I'm gonna do is add in my quart jars. They're a little bit more than halfway full of water. I think I can fit, I don't remember if it was 5 or 6 quarts. Okay, so I think it's just 5. So now that I have 5 jars in here and the silicone sealing ring is on, I'm gonna go ahead and pop the lid on, shift it to lock. For quart-sized potatoes, I read it up and it's 40 minutes, so it's on the pressure can option, so press yes. I don't think I showed this in the last video, but I'm gonna go up to 40 minutes, insert jars, and it's gonna warm them. So once the process is done, it takes about 20 minutes. It will tell me to remove the jars, fill them, and then we will move on to the next step. Since the mason jars are super hot, I'm gonna wait until this process is done and it tells me to go to the next step. Then I'm gonna heat up some water in my electric kettle because that is what we're gonna be filling the the cans with is with hot water, because you don't want to put cold water and then put them back in and it's cold potatoes, cold water into very hot water. You run the chances of your jars cracking and breaking, which we don't want. I'm gonna wash the rings and the lids separately in just a second. What I'm gonna shift my focus on to now are these potatoes. I'm just gonna go, I think I have a large paring knife. I'm just gonna go through and cut up the potatoes to the size that I want. And what I'm looking for are like chunks pretty much this big. I don't want them to be super tiny. And honestly, most of them, because they were such small potatoes, are already in chunks. So not all of them will need to get cut up. Some of them are already in chunks. So this one, I will cut it. So yeah, let me go through this. Let me slice them up and then we will rinse them out a few times. I want the water to be super, super clear. Yeah, I kind of want pretty large chunks because, I mean, they're gonna be super cooked and soft and I can mash them up with some cream and butter and make some mashed potatoes, but I just don't want them to kind of fall apart. And I will say, like, it was tedious work to peel all of these potatoes, but now that they're done, I'm feeling so much better about this project and it being, you know, pretty much halfway done. All I have to do now is just, you know, actually can it. But I feel so much better because these potatoes, like the bag, it's a huge bag and it was sitting in the corner of my kitchen just staring at me, and I'm like, I really need to get them done. But we just had a bathroom renovation to our master bathroom, which was very much needed and long overdue. So I wasn't filming because I had, you know, a crew in my house, and you know, it's kind of uncomfortable, one, filming when you have a bunch of people in your house that don't know what you do. And then two, just the noise and the dust, like it was just a little overwhelming, overstimulating. So I just took the week off, but I am happy to be getting to these potatoes. And I'm curious to see how many quarts this is gonna fill up. We shall see. Anyway, let me stop yapping. Let me chop up these potatoes, make sure they're all at the size that I want. And I will come back to you guys in just a second once those potatoes, I will come back to you guys in just a second once, let me stop waving this around, once the jars are warmed up and we can move on to the next process. All right guys, so this is about my third or fourth time rinsing these out, and this is what, from what I can tell, again, baby beginner canner here, but from what I've read, this is what you want. Clear water, not starchy water. So these guys are ready to go. I'm gonna let it sit for a second because I have a few more minutes for the jars to finish up with their warming cycle. So I will come back to you guys in just a second, but I'm so curious to see how many, this is my daughter leaving on some of the skins. I'm curious to see how many quarts this fills up. And then I guess that'll determine what I do with the 4 bags that I have back there. I'm gonna have to go through and make sure, because it looks like my daughter left a little bit of the peels on a few of them. Quite all right. I will just go through really quick and inspect them. I think these are just about good. All right, so I will come back to you guys in just a second as soon as those cans are nice and warm and ready for the next step. All right guys, so it beeped and now it says fill jars. That is our next step. So I'm gonna open this up. I'm gonna show you the tool. I showed it in my last video as well, and I will link everything down below. I'm in the process of opening up an Amazon storefront, so I will link, hopefully by this time it'll be done, I will link my Amazon storefront down below, but let me show you. So this is the nifty little tool right here. I'm not great at using like one hand on this, but I'm getting better. So you grip it, pick up your hot jar, pour the water out. Oh, actually, I'm gonna pour it out in the sink because I don't wanna add any more water to this and then have to take it out. So let's take it over to the sink instead. I went ahead and put it on my countertop on a towel because I don't wanna put a super hot jar on a cold countertop and then crack my beautiful jars. So let me get the rest of them out and then we're gonna start packing up our potatoes. Now, the set that I got this in comes with a bunch of different tools, and it does come with one of these little like funnels, but I ended up picking the separate one up because it's stainless steel and I wasn't too keen on having or pouring hot foods into, you know, plastic. So I got this one. I'll link it down below as well. I have clean hands. I'm gonna go ahead and start packing in the potatoes and pack them in as much as I can and leave a 1-inch headspace. Now, realistically, for my size family, I feel like I would need 2 quarts to make enough for a dinner. Have you guys ever canned in anything larger than a quart? What's larger than a quart? Is it a half gallon after that? I'm not too sure, but if you guys have any experience in canning in anything larger, let me know in the comments down below. I'm trying to shake them so I can get as many as I can in here. Let me start adding in this hot water, and then I'll add the salt at the very end. I'm gonna run this one more time with a little bit more water. And now that I'm using that, I remember that I still have some coffee left over. So I'm gonna warm that up and have my coffee. But I'm just grabbing my salt really quick and a teaspoon measuring spoon. And I'm gonna add in 1 teaspoon to each one. And then use my little debubbling stick. Or you could use a chopstick or anything to kind of get down in there and get those little air bubbles out. That one was a little bit shy. There we go. And this is the little debubbling stick that comes with that pack, and it also has this nifty little side here that will let you know what is an inch of headspace, a half an inch, a quarter inch. So, going to, that is hot water. So I'm just gonna go through and try to remove any air bubbles, and sometimes you see them coming up to the top, which is a good sign. I feel like I might have to take 1 or 2 of these out because they're a little bit too high. All right, filling in this last one with water. Now what I did with the other, I might have to take this one out. Yeah. What I did with the other potatoes is I just soaked them in water, and those are just gonna have to wait until this process is done. But thankfully, unlike the beans, this is only 40 minutes. I think the beans were 75, so definitely a lot longer. Okay, so now that we have them all full, water's in, salt is in, we've debubbled them. I'm just gonna go ahead and grab a little bit of vinegar on a paper towel and go around and wipe all of the rims so that they are super clean. I'm gonna have to make a separate video using one of these to make a dinner, maybe when I do the meatloaf. Now I'm grabbing my lids that are nice and clean. I went ahead and washed them, so I'm gonna add the lids on. And also look at how thick the rubber part is on these lids. Really, really like these a lot. The 4-jar lids are also really good ones too. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add the bands just fingertip tight. And before I used to wonder what exactly does that mean, and it's literally just, you know, you grab your one hand and you, however tight you can get it with your one hand without having to use any extra force. Kind of like this. That's it. As soon as there's a little resistance, there we go. There we go. Now I'm gonna grab them, put them back inside the electric canner, and then I will show you on the screen the next steps. Let me adjust them super quickly. Alrighty, now I'm just making sure that the sealing ring is on really well. Lid back on, locked. Making sure this is back on, so there. We have our regulator, but this is what it's looking like. It beeped, it said fill jars. I filled them, I'm gonna press next, and now it's gonna heat it up. And now it'll beep again, and it'll tell me when to put on this regulator. And when it does, I just take it, put it right on top, and that's it. It does everything else for you. You don't have to babysit it. It is the one beautiful thing about an electric or a digital pressure canner, is that you don't have to babysit it. Once you get to the part of canning, it just kind of, you know, takes care of everything on its own. All right, guys, and that is everything. So this is the first time I've ever pressure canned tomatoes. This is the second time pressure canning anything.
You said tomatoes.
I said tomatoes?
Yeah. I noticed that.
Yeah, I'm so tired. Damn it, now I gotta start all over because I don't know where I said tomatoes. Oh, that's a good sign. That means it's sealed. I'm tired and I'm hungry. All right, guys, so I am done. I have the 5 quarts, is it 5? Yes, I have the 5 quarts back there, and I'm gonna run the other 5 quarts in just a second. I'm gonna sit down and have dinner first and then run the next 5 quarts. But this is what they're looking like. I'm hearing the lids pop, so that's a good sign. I've never pressure canned tomatoes before. Did I say tomatoes?
You did.
Again?
I heard it.
Again?
I heard tomato.
You said I've never pressure canned tomatoes before.
Again?
I heard tomato.
I'm tired. Out of this, Grandpa. Okay. Third time's a charm. All right, so Hannah has a picture of a potato on her phone for me. All right, guys, so this is the third time that I'm filming this. I have my kids in front of me and my husband to the side, and apparently I've said I've never pressure canned tomatoes twice already. So what I meant to say is I've never pressure canned potatoes. This is the first time pressure canning potatoes, and this is what it's looking like. I've already heard some of the lids pop, so that's a really good sign. I've never done this before, so I don't know if it's supposed to be that color, if that's due to the salt, or that's just naturally how it's supposed to be. But I have 5 quarts back there. I'm gonna load up the other 5 quarts right after I have dinner, and it really didn't take that long. It was only 40 minutes. What takes a little bit long is the cool down, because you have to let the machine come back down to pressure. So that's what takes the longest, but I'm gonna run it. It should be done before bedtime, at least. It should be done before bedtime for sure. So I'm gonna put this back on the counter. I'm gonna leave them undisturbed for 12 to 24 hours. So at some point tomorrow, I will take the rings off, check the seal, make sure that they're all sealed. And I'll have another video up once I actually open one of these up and make mashed potatoes or something out of them. And hopefully they're good. I don't know, I've never done it before. So they did stay in one piece. And that's what I was afraid of, is that they were gonna kind of disintegrate and just turn into nothing in here. But as you can see, there's definitely nice big chunks. So yeah, that is everything for this video. If you guys have pressure canned potatoes before, please let me know in the comments down below if you liked it, if you liked the texture. What did you guys do with it other than mashed potatoes? But I'm very excited to have this on my shelf because it's just convenient and it's fast food, healthy fast food. So yeah, that's everything for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you here. And until the next video, bye friends.